It was one of those nights when everything felt a little heavier than usual. The city, a maze of lights and shadows, hummed with life. But Jake couldn't shake the weight on his chest. It wasn't just the noise around him. It was the silence he carried, the kind that clung to his thoughts like a thick fog. He walked the streets aimlessly, his sneakers barely making a sound on the pavement, his mind racing with all the things he wanted to say but couldn't. The arguments with his father, the misunderstandings with his friends, so many moments where he had wanted to speak out, but had been swallowed by the overwhelming feeling that nothing he said would ever be enough. Every word that had been thrown at him, meanings twisted, judgments made, came rushing back like waves crashing against a shore. And yet there was one thing he couldn't escape: the anger, the hurt, and the shame. It was all wrapped up in him, and no matter how hard he tried, it was like he was trapped in a box of his own making. And then he thought about it, the words he had never said, the ones he had held back out of fear, pride, or just plain exhaustion. It wasn't until he found himself standing at the edge of the river, watching the ripples spread out into the darkness, that he finally realized. It wasn't just the words that had kept him silent. It was the fear of the storm those words might unleash. Jake looked out across the water, wondering if he could find a way to untangle the mess in his mind. He didn't have answers, but in that moment, he knew he had to face it, because if he didn't, that silence would drown him. James stood at the river's edge, staring at the dark water. His mind raced. "Don't let go," it whispered. "You'll lose everything." One part of him screamed to hold on, to stay quiet. But another part, the part he'd silenced for so long, needed to speak, to release the anger and hurt he'd buried. His chest tightened. Rational thoughts tried to regain control. What will this do to them? To you? Fear gripped him. But the irrational voice roared louder. "You can't keep this in. It'll destroy you." His whole body trembled, torn between fear of the unknown and the desperate need for release. "Just say it," he urged. But what if they didn't understand? What if it broke everything? Standing there, he realized the silence had already cost him too much. The weight of it was heavier than any words he feared. If you were in James's shoes, would you find the courage to speak out? Or would the fear of what might happen keep you silent?